Today I want to look at the sacrament of marriage. Now, like all the 7 sacraments, there's a lot there that we can't unpack everything in just 3 minutes. But I want to look at a paragraph that we find in the Catechism and just begin to look at what the sacrament of marriage is. In Catechism paragraph 1601, the Catechism reminds us, first of all, that marriage is a covenant. It also reminds us that this covenant between baptized persons has been raised by Jesus Christ to the dignity of a sacrament. So what do we learn here? Well, we all know that marriage existed before Christ instituted the 7 sacraments. He didn't invent marriage. That's why John Paul II will call marriage the primordial sacrament. It's existed since the garden. But what Christ does is elevate it, raise it to a sacrament. Why is this important? Because anybody who's ever been married knows that we need God's help in that marriage covenant. We need the grace of God, and that's what the sacraments give us. The sacraments give us God's life, give us God's grace. And so when Christ elevates marriage to a sacrament, he promises to give that covenant his life, his grace, his help. What does it mean to say that marriage is a covenant? I think sometimes we don't understand the importance of this word because we equate it with a contract. But when we look at what a contract is an agreement between people that's made in our own names, that's temporary, and that is really an exchange of goods and services. So when we look at, let's say, I want to buy a cow from you. I'm going to make that agreement in my name and in yours. It's going to be temporary. It's going to last as long as it takes for me to give you money for your cow. And it's going to be this exchange of goods. A covenant, however, is much deeper than that because a covenant is not temporary. A covenant is permanent. And it's not an exchange of goods and services. It's an exchange of persons. I give not money to you. I give you myself. We see that covenants are not made in our own names alone, but are ultimately made in the name of God. And so this permanent bond, this permanent exchange of persons, that's what we find in the sacrament of marriage. And ultimately, covenants create families. And so don't we see that when marriage takes place? When the man and woman exchange those vows, they're actually the ministers of the sacrament to each other. When they exchange those vows, they immediately then become a family. That's the beauty of the marriage covenant. And that's a little theology in 3 minutes. Hey friends, exciting news for you. My very first book is available from Ave Maria Press. It's called Opening the Holy Door, and it's scriptural reflections on the virtue of hope. It's the perfect way to celebrate this Jubilee year as together we are pilgrims of hope. You can find the link in the description below or go to joanwatson.faith to order your copy today.